Joining me now is author and political commentator Shemeka Michelle.
Shemeka Michelle.
Shemeka Michelle.
Shemeka Michelle.
When God looked at man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. He gave him a woman. He didn't give him a village. He didn't give him the community. He said, be fruitful and multiply to this man and this woman. So it's supposed to be God, husband, wife.
If you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always done. All of the lights.
Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby. You know what I need. Want you to see everything. Want you to see all of the lights. Fast cars, shooting stars. All of the lights, all of the lights. Until it's taken exactly where we are. All of the lights. If you want it, you can get it for the rest of your life. If you want it, you can get it for the rest of your life.
Something wrong. I hold my head. MJ gone. I nigga dead. I slapped my girl. She called the feds. I did that time and spent that bread. I'm headed home. I'm almost there. I'm on my way, headed up the stairs. To my surprise, a nigga replacing me. I had to take him to that ghetto university. The lights, top lights, flashlights, spotlights, strobe lights, street lights.
All of the lights, all of the lights.
Fast life, drug life, thug life, rock life, every night. All of the lights.
Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby. You know what I need. Want you to see everything. Want you to see all of the lights.
Restraining order. Can't see my daughter, her mother, brother, grand.
Oh, wow. Happy Thursday, head shakers. Welcome to Shaking My Head with Shemeka Michelle. I am your host, Shemeka Michelle, and I apologize for the delay for the time that was set. I know I don't wear a full face of makeup, but I do try to get myself touched up just a bit, and I could not find a lick of lip gloss. So if the moderator that lives in this house could bring me some lip gloss, I'd greatly appreciate it because I feel a bit naked without it. I don't feel finished or polished, without a little lip gloss. So if I could get that sooner than later, I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, today, guys, I am shaking my head at prom. I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, I don't remember having like a kindergarten graduation or a fifth grade graduation or eighth grade graduation. When it came to graduation, I was just looking forward to graduating from high school, having my 12th grade graduation. And I remember thinking as my, all three of my daughters had an eighth grade graduation. I was thinking as the time went on, because for the last two, we actually had like little eighth grade graduation parties. I got with other parents and we came together and we did this. And I remember thinking to myself, gosh, it just seems like as the years go by, because we didn't do this with my oldest, it becomes a very big deal, these eighth grade graduations. So I did a little bit of research and I found out that they started to do eighth grade graduations because the 12th grade graduation rate was declining. So in an effort for these kids to have some sort of graduation and for parents to experience some sort of graduation celebration, they started doing the 8th grade graduations, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, I'm seeing the same thing now with prom. Like, prom has always been a pretty big deal. But now, like in the video you just saw, and I'm going to show you another one that is something that I've never seen before in my life, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Even when it comes to like 8th grade formal. 8th grade formal now it's like prom. It's like, well, just in case they're knocked up and can't make it to prom, we're going to go all out for this 8th grade prom. And now it's looking like, just in case they don't make it to the altar, we're going to go all out for this junior or senior prom. And I'm wondering, have proms replaced weddings? And we're seeing this across the board. I want to be sure, because these are children, to kind of keep this lighthearted. I don't want to be the mean, grumpy old lady on the internet complaining about Black joy, especially not with teenagers. But I have to ask this question of the parents, because I was having a conversation with my cousin earlier, and she was asking me what I was discussing today. And I was telling her, and she was telling me about an experience that she had with someone some years ago. And what she had come to the conclusion was, when people kind of put a lot of focus on something very, very small, like we look at it as, why are you putting so much emphasis on your hair or your nails or prom or 8th grade graduation? It's almost a sense of hopelessness. Like, you have nothing else to look forward to, so you have to do all that you can right now. And that's the way it's seeming with prom nowadays. They're going all out as if there's no hope for nothing else or anything else to come. I'm going to show you this video before we move any further, but just take a notice of the designer gowns. We're talking people are spending thousands of dollars on designer gowns. I cannot show you the amount of prom videos that I've come across, but just type in prom 26 or Black prom. You will see so many. I was actually shocked, thinking, how can parents even afford all of this? Because some of them, let's be clear, when they step out of the house, they are stepping out of a project door. How can they afford it? I'm not talking about celebrities and their children. I'm talking about everyday, possibly on government assistance, spending thousands of dollars on one night. Designer gowns, custom tuxedos, luxury car rentals. I even saw helicopters, private planes. Like, what are we doing? Rose petals, fireworks, drone footage. And I saw some of this in the projects. And I'm not exaggerating. Take the time to look it up if you're interested. But this is what we have now. A grand entrance, like the daughter is going to marry a prince. It's over the top. And like when I say across the board, we're seeing the same thing with baby showers, gender reveals, people just really going all out because maybe they're hopeless. I don't know. I'm asking the question, and I want to know, have these things started to replace some of the bigger things that we used to celebrate? these lavish 8th grade graduations. Are people really feeling like, my child's reading below grade level, not doing math on grade level? Let's go all out for 8th grade graduation, because chances of them ever making it to 12th grade or to college is very slim. Let's go all out on prom, because chances of them actually making it to the altar is very slim. And I want to know, has celebration replaced achievement? Because 12th grade used to be the desired achievement. Granted, there were a lot of people who didn't make it to college. Maybe they went into trade businesses, but that used to be the achievement. Now we're just looking for the next celebration. The wedding, getting married, actually becoming a union, becoming one with another person, that used to be an achievement. Now we're just looking for the next celebration, the next time to have chicken wings and meatballs. Has this replaced actual achievement? Has this replaced us having actual stable families, getting married, buying a home, having career advancement, anniversaries? Now we just want another opportunity to flash money, have music, do it up, and just celebrate. Again, y'all are calling it Black joy, because I haven't, listen, I'm not, as someone who wants to unblack myself, I'm not trying to come down on just Black, but I haven't seen any other people doing it to this extreme. So I want to share this other video with you, because I was very surprised and shocked a little bit. What are we doing? Let me first go to pull it up. Make sure I have so many of these saved that I have so many of these saved. I want to make sure I'm pulling up the right one. Okay, let's share this with you, and then we're going to get into it. Because I think y'all think I'm exaggerating, and I need to show you I'm not exaggerating at all. Look at this. This is prom, people.
I promise to make this night special.
I promise to cherish this moment.
Won't you right now? Right now. You the one got all of me, give me all of you, all of me, but I'm on my way. I'm the one that's gonna hold you down. I'm the one that's gonna hold you down.
This is prom. This is prom. This is prom. As marriage rates decline, home ownership gets harder, student debt is rising, we are seeing a delay and decline and uncertainty in so many areas. But this is prom. Prom 25, prom 26. Social media has turned every event into a production. This kind of piggybacks off where we've been all week. And you have to outdo the last person for show, for content. Prom used to be a time where we just, got a little bit dressed up, went out, had fun, and that was it. Back when I was going to the prom, some people had their dresses made. One of the first weddings I was ever in, maybe a couple of the first ones, we actually had our dresses made, homemade. It didn't cost our parents thousands of dollars. They're spending upwards of $5,000 on one night now. And I told you, some of these people are coming from the projects. I saw videos where they had the dancers coming out, in leotards and Crocs. So now this is like a big thing. Now it's not about just getting dressed, taking a few pictures and going to dance. That's what it used to be, and coming home. Now we have these cinematic entrances, the matching cars. We have all this choreography. They have custom backdrops that they're taking pictures in front of. They're doing drone footage, as we could just see in that video. Behind the scenes footage. They're actually going all out. 3 changes like they're Beyonce on tour. This is what we have now for prom. And I'm just wondering, is it replacing actual milestones, actual achievement? If 70% of children are reading below grade level, are these only the children that are 30%, on grade level or above, going above and beyond? We have started to actually celebrate things that at one point it was automatic. It was automatic that I was going to finish 8th grade. It was automatic that I was going to graduate 12th grade. Now it's not automatic. So we've begun to celebrate things that actually really just don't even make sense. And now let me be clear. I'm not saying that I don't want parents to make their children feel special. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with celebration. What I'm pointing out, though, is that we've gotten to the point now where it's about just celebrating and not an actual achievement. Nothing wrong with getting dressed up for a little milestone. But we want to compare effort. Some people spend months planning prom, thousands on one night, endless attention on pictures, and zero time on budgeting, conflict resolution, dating wisely. These are the things that I'm constantly talking about. We have low conflict resolution skills in our culture, but you're spending $5,000 on prom night. We're not budgeting. Do y'all remember when they were talking about the SNAP benefits? And it was on hold for a while because the government was shut down. The amount of videos that began to circulate with the people saying, I can't afford food. This ain't fair. I can't get the things that I need to feed my children. But then these same people have elaborate prom videos stepping out of the projects. We're not dating wisely. We're having children out of wedlock. Little boys are sowing their seeds in the north side, south side, east, west, in gardens they never planned to tend. We're not even dating wisely. So I'm just saying, when it comes to comparison in the effort that we're putting in, are we putting effort where it actually belongs? Are we putting our efforts in places where the fruit is going to be the type of fruit we want to see? The type of fruit that is healthy, the type of fruit that is profitable, the type of fruit that's productive. Because you know a tree by the fruit it bears. What seeds are we sowing? What seeds are we sowing? So I'm not trying to be the mean lady on the internet attacking kids. I want to be the mean lady on the internet attacking the adults who are possibly living through their children and just being reckless. Because I'm not seeing, Black joy. I'm seeing a lot of Black irresponsibility. And somebody needs to say it. We're celebrating one night instead of putting efforts into things that can alter our lifetimes for the better. We should be teaching these kids conflict resolutions, discipline, emotional maturity, how to choose a spouse. They're doing promposals. What? Promposals? So now you going all out. The last video we just saw, the promposal and everything that followed. Are you even looking forward to being a wife or a husband? You've already done the thing. You've already done the big thing. We're neglecting preparing for the next 40 years for one night. And I'm just saying, not as the mean lady on the internet, but as someone who has children, you should be preparing your child for the next 40 years, not just one night. And statistics say, because some people will say, well, how do you know these aren't the kids with the 4.4 GPAs going off into college or about to be entrepreneurs and start their own business and going to be very profitable? Statistics are saying the majority of the kids in the culture are just not those kids. So I'm not trying to be judgmental or harsh. The statistics are. The statistics are very harsh. And we have our priorities backwards. We're looking to plan photos and photo shoots instead of planning the future. Statistically, we're not doing that great. If they have to put 8th grade graduations in place because we don't have enough people graduating high school, or, just in case they don't make it, the statistics don't look good. And we're following the same pattern, because a lot of times we want to discuss the pattern. We're following the same pattern when it comes to these promposals and the elaborate things people are doing with proms. Now, proms, I can remember proms from as long as I can remember, far as I can remember. My uncle, who I was raised with, the one that sticks out was him going to the prom in, I'm not going to tell you the year, but it was a long time ago. And they still have photos. When I go through my grandmother's old photos, those are photos. I'm sure it was a night to remember. It was nice. But my grandma didn't go into debt for him to go to the prom. I went to the prom 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. My mama didn't go into debt for me to go to the prom. My oldest went to the prom. Unfortunately, my middle one could not go, but my oldest went 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I didn't go into debt with her going to the prom. My baby went to 2 proms in 1 year. I didn't go into debt with her going to the prom. We used our own cars and resources to get them there. It's a prom. You want all of this fancy schmancy stuff? You can have that with your wedding. And if you don't have a wedding, too bad, so sad. Too bad, so sad. Or as my mama would say, tough titty kitty, ain't no more milk. But now we're using celebration in place of achievement. We literally have people now so against marriage that they are having elaborate weddings for themselves, marrying themselves. And prom is going right behind that. Prom now, I'm serious, y'all. Look at some of these videos. They have speeches. There's crowds of people waiting for them to come out. The limo rides, their custom cakes. This is just for the entrance of what they're going to look like prior to getting to the prom. This is at the house. As you saw some of these, this was at the house. And for what? For what? We're doing all of this because you graduated 8th grade. You completed what was expected of you. You're going to the prom, great. Prom has been part of high school for decades. What are we celebrating at times? When we are having these elaborate baby showers and there's no husband, what are we doing? My baby shower was in a house with family and closest friends. Now that you know you're in a ball gown, going to your baby shower. There's no wedding, no nothing. May not even be able to feed the child, but this is we're looking at celebrations instead of achievements. We are rewarding checkpoints like they're championships. They haven't made the big time yet, parents. And kids are only going to do what you allow them to do. They're going to respond based off what you have instilled in them. They're going to act out based on the values that you have instilled in them. If you are teaching them that pulling out a wad of cash and just dancing to music in front of the ghetto is the highlight of their lives, what else are they going to do? So kids should have fun. But parents, you got to parent. Statistics say as a culture, our kids can't read. Statistics say a lot of the culture cannot do math on grade level. If every step gets a trophy, then the finish line is meaningless. We are a participation trophy generation now. Well, I get a trophy just because I participated. I remember when I was in school, if you didn't get a trophy for award shows, you just didn't get a trophy. If you didn't come in first, second, maybe third place, you just didn't get a trophy. Now we're giving participation trophies for every little thing, every little step. And so I'm asking, does that make the finish line meaningless? And when it comes to baby showers, gender reveals, a new life is important and it's worth celebrating. But ask yourself, is this surrounding a child who's stable? Are we doing all this extravaganza, this extravagant stuff with a relationship that's stable behind this child? Or are we doing all of this with no commitment, no foundation, no plan? Putting thousands of dollars into something with no foundation, no plan. That's what my eyes are starting to see. I'm seeing parents pay thousands of dollars for prom or put thousands of dollars towards a baby shower, and the kid has no college fund. Parties costing $1,000. Child has no college fund. We're not investing in life insurance or health insurance anymore. One of my frustrations when my kids were younger was that we lived in a $300,000 home with 2 Mercedes and a Escalade in the driveway. My kids had no college fund. That was an issue for me. My kids had no life insurance. That was an issue for me. My kids had no health insurance. Yet we had all the things to show people and to make it seem like we were keeping up with the Joneses. And all of that energy, effort, and money was in the wrong place. So I'm not on the outside looking in and just being judgmental. I was once on the inside looking around, and I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. We're having these elaborate proms for nothing that'll last 6 months after prom is over. Relationships in chaos. But yet we're spending thousands of dollars on gender reveals, baby shower, future shaky. The future is shaky. And the presentation should never be big when the foundation is weak. It's like going out here, gonna have this big wedding. I'm gonna make sure I spend 10, 20, 30,000. I don't even know what a wedding costs for real. But I'm gonna spend thousands of dollars on a wedding, but not prepare myself to be a wife. That's what we're doing nowadays. And this is just a little check. You know how they say check yourself before you wreck yourself? This is just a little check for us. We are craving as a people pride. We're craving likes and feeding our egos, when we need to be focused on hope and the future. Actually building stable foundations and not so caught up in the presentation, trying to outdo the last person who posted. Oh, well, last year, Lil Fat Draws had a Lamborghini when he went to the prom. So Ray this year need to have 2 Lamborghinis, one for him and one for his prom date. And then next year, Tyrone is going to have 3 Lamborghinis, flash cash, have a lion in the cage. Listen, this is everything that I've seen coming to this topic today. And it caused me to shake my head, because what are we doing? If our reading rates were higher in the culture, I might not be doing this show. We had 90% of our kids reading on grade level. Celebrate. We still had good marriage rates in the culture. Our kids were being raised in 2-parent households. Celebrate. We didn't have an outrageous homicide rate among Black boys and young Black males. Celebrate. But we can't say that. And yes, people want their children to feel special. But that needs to be coupled with them also achieving something. It's like we're rewarding bad behavior. So the issue is not just the celebration. We're talking about which event deserves major investment. Prom isn't one of them. You getting ready to celebrate the second baby shower without a husband? That's not an event for a major investment. It just isn't. We have to be preparing our children for adulthood, not just dressing them up for content. There was one video, little boy didn't know what to do. He's sitting here fanning his cash, and something happened to the music, and the music stopped. And you can hear his parents, DJ, what's going on? What's going on with the DJ? Go ahead, son. Go ahead, son. Keep dancing. So he's sitting here moving to the music, looking like a fool, and then to the music come back on. Didn't even know what to do. We're not preparing our children. I finally had me some lip gloss. Said this is going to be kind of laid back show. I know. We're not preparing our children for adulthood. We're dressing them up for content, likes, and to pretend like we're keeping up with the Joneses. If you're trying to make ends meet and ends don't meet, bring the celebration down a bit. Your child can't read on grade level, but maybe they're trying. You could invest in a tutor. Some of you, your child can't read, but you've never invested in a tutor. You'll spend $3,000 on prom, but have never invested in a tutor. Won't even spend $25 for an hour of tutoring for your child. That's the problem. That's the problem. You spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and your kid don't have a college fund, no type of nest egg. That's the problem. You're spending all this money, and then if you were to pass away, there's no life insurance. People are having to raise money, do GoFundMe and fish fries to help bury you, your child, whatever. You're making the wrong investments. We need to bring some balance back. Celebrate, but also teach. Take pictures, yes, but also build futures. And we're not doing that. This is kind of a plea, not, wanting to be the mean lady on the internet. Buy the dress if you can afford it. But also teach debt avoidance. Buy the dress if you can afford it, but don't be teaching them how to get over on the government. You going out here spending $1,000 on a prom dress while you getting food stamps. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. You spending money to get a helicopter, but there's no life insurance. Something's wrong. You got to teach them that their character matters more than captions for these photo shoots. Have the shower, but teach them about family structure. We got to have some balance. We need to be teaching them more about commitment than just celebrating. Time for some chicken wings and some meatballs. And they can't, I know we don't do checkbooks, but they can't balance their checkbooks. They don't have a budget. They'd rather go buy $300 and $400 sneakers than open a bank account and make some wise investments. Right now, we're making a spectacle, and it's just not looking good for us. We're celebrating temporary moments instead of actually investing in our kids' future. And I'm just asking us to do better. Want to be the happy lady on the internet today. She's the happy lady on the internet. I'm being nice. Y'all look so cute. Some of you in your prom dresses, some of you naked. There was one I came across. Young girl was put out of the prom. All she had on was glittered band-aids, for real. Can't be a loving, protective, real man in the home to just send his high school age daughter out in sparkling little band-aids to the point where she got kicked out of the prom. And then they want to post that on the internet as if people are supposed to come to their defense and say, kicking them out of the prom is racist. Kicking them out of the prom. They have freedom of speech. Let's have a balance, people. That's all I'm saying. It's quite embarrassing at this point. I'm experiencing secondhand embarrassment. Nomad Dad, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Says, saw the post on X. I'm calling today Queen Head Shaker Appreciation Day. Shemeka Michelle gives us good, solid, godly wisdom day in and day out without trying to sell stuff. Oh, I appreciate that, Norman. No, Normad Dad. I didn't call you Norman, but Normad Dad. I really appreciate that. Now, eventually, I might try to sell something. Baby came up with an idea to do head shaker bobblehead dolls. And I might be the first one to get one and have, just shaking my head. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it, though. I just want us to have some balance. Cougar Diva, glad to see you. Said somebody was in $500 shoes. Yeah. And his as a voice of reason. Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you all, head shakers. I've been doing these really long shows, and I'm trying to cut them off at 45 minutes. Gabrielle said my daughter's prom is next weekend, and I spent $50. Like the $3,000. That's from Pretty Woman, one of my favorite movies. Anyway, thank y'all for joining me today for what I was shaking my head about. I'll be back on Monday. Today is our Friday, so no show tomorrow. I'll be here on Monday shaking my head about something else. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be off because my mini-me is turning 21, and we're going to be going around town for birthday freebies, starting at the top of the morning at IHOP. So I'll be here on Monday shaking my head. Look, they spending $3,000 on Prom. I'm going with my 21-year-old to collect freebies. See, you can have fun without spending a whole lot of money, and then you're building memories at the same time. They won't remember sometimes all this money you spent, but she'll remember her mama hopping in the car, going with her to collect birthday freebies. I'll be back on Monday, same place, same time. Peace. I love you.